Welcome to Jam on Sunday, January 31st. I invite you to check your porch. You should have received a bag for both this Sunday and next Sunday. In it are 2 activities as well as some birthday cards for the elders in our congregation. So I invite you to express your love for others, especially those who may not be able to get out due to the pandemic, and send them a birthday card for the month of February. Now, we're going to enter into our worship time. First, we're going to explain how the curriculum works, and then we will enter into our worship, where we will tell the story of the parable of the leaven. At First Congregational, we use a curriculum called Kids and Worship. The goal of this curriculum is to present a form of worship that kids will experience for their lifetime, and yet do it in an age-appropriate way. One of the ways we do this is by using multisensory materials. If the kids were with us in the classroom, they could pick up the wooden blocks and the sand and the pieces of the story. They would be able to retell that story themselves. Unfortunately, we can't do that because of COVID. But this is still a way to embed that pattern of worship within the bodies and lives and minds of our children. It follows the fourfold worship that we will experience upstairs. It begins by preparing ourselves for worship. First, we greet one another. The Lord be with you, and the kids respond, and also with you. Then we sing songs to prepare our body and minds so that we can hear the sacred stories of God. We then hear those sacred stories in a multisensory way with various objects that help the kids enter into the stories. It also asks wondering questions so that they can begin to enter into the story and they are not passive learners. Afterwards, they are invited to respond to that story. They could do that by doing the activity in their bag, but if that doesn't work for them, they can go into the craft area of your home and they can do anything that their creative mind imagines to respond to that story. After response time, then we enter into a time of thanksgiving, where we tell God what we're thankful for and tell one another as well. After that, we do a benediction. That's a fancy schmancy way to say we bless one another before we then go out into the world to serve God and our neighbors and love one another and God. So, I invite you to put away your devices, slow your bodies down, and enter into worship this Sunday. Welcome to the Worship Center. The Worship Center is a special place. It's a special place to be with God. In this place, we have all the time that we need, so we don't need to hurry. We can walk more slowly. We can talk quietly because someone might be talking to God. There are lots of ways we can get ready to be with God in this worship space. One of the ways we do that is by greeting one another so that we feel welcome in this space and we know that God is with us. A way we can know this is by telling one another, "The Lord be with you." And you respond, "And also with you," so that we know God is with us. So, can you say it with me? I'll say, "The Lord be with you," and you will say, "And also with you." Let's try it. The Lord be with you. Good. Let's try it one more time so that we know God is with us this Sunday morning. The Lord be with you. Excellent. Now we sing 2 songs to prepare ourselves to hear the sacred stories of God. The first song we sing is "Oh God, I Adore You." I hope you'll sing it along with me. Sing it with me now. Oh God, I adore you. lay my life before you. How I love you. Jesus, I adore you. Lay my life before you. How I love you. Spirit, I adore you. Lay my life before you. How I love you. Good. The next song we sing, I sing it kind of slow because I want to remind my body to be still and know about God. So sing with me. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Good. Now that we have sung these songs, we know that God is with us. So now we prepare to hear the story of God. So cross your legs or take your arms and hug yourself and slow your body so you can hear a story that Jesus once told, the parable of the leaven. I wonder if this is a parable. It might be a parable. Parables are very precious, like gold. And this is a gold box. It even looks like a present. Well, parables are like presents. They have already been given to us, and we can't buy them or take them or steal them. They are already ours. There's another reason this might be a parable. It has a lid. And parables, they have lids on them. When we lift the lid, sometimes we can find hidden stories inside. And in that hidden story, there are precious things inside under the lid. I know. Let's open it and let's see what is in this parable. I wonder what this could be. It's not really brown. It's a different color. It's not really yellow either. I wonder what it could be. It could be a mud puddle. It might be a mountain. What do you think it is? Once, there was someone who said such amazing things and did such wonderful things that people began to follow him. As they followed them, he told them about a kingdom, the kingdom of heaven. But they did not understand him. They had never been to such a place. And they didn't know anyone who had been there either. They didn't even know where it was. So one day, they simply had to ask this amazing teacher, what is the kingdom of heaven like? And the amazing teacher said, the kingdom of heaven is like leaven. Leaven that a person took. Here's that person. The person took it and hid the leaven in 3 measures of flour. So the person took the leaven, put it inside the flour, and hid it there. The flour was put inside a big bowl with a lid on it. The person took some water and poured it into the bowl with the flour. The person waited and waited. As the person waited, the flour with the leaven hidden inside it that was inside the bowl, it grew into bread for dough. And it grew some more, and it grew even more, till all of the dough was leavened. I wonder if this loaf of bread has a name. I wonder if you could take this loaf and put it back where it came from and before it was leavened. I wonder what this leaven might really be. I wonder if this person has a name. I wonder what this person was doing while the leaven was in the flour, making the bread grow and grow. I wonder if the person spoke any words while the loaf was being leavened. I wonder why the person put the leaven in the bread. I wonder if you've ever been close to this table. I wonder where this whole place could be. I wonder if you would like to make something that makes you feel and remind you how you feel about this story of the tiny piece of leaven that leavened the whole bread until it grew and grew and grew. Now is a time of response. If you were here, you could play with the parts of the story. You could go to your craft area of your home and you could make something that reminds you of the story that Jesus told about the leaven. You could take the activity out of your bag. You can do all sorts of things. I invite you to find some creative way to remind yourself of the story and the feelings you felt when you heard it. So pause the video and go and respond to the story. Now is our time of Thanksgiving. We light the Christ candle to remind us that Christ is with us when we hear the sacred story of God. The story that we heard today is found in the Bible. It is in Matthew chapter 13, verse 33. You could pause the video and read it from your own Bible, or you can listen to me as I read it. Jesus told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed in with 3 measures of flour until all of it was leavened. Now that we've heard the story again, it's a time to say thank you to God. You could say thank you for something in your family, something in your house, something in the story, whatever comes to your mind. So I invite you to turn to the person next to you and say something you're thankful for. Good. Now, we're going to take that same thing we're thankful for, and we're going to say thank you to God. You could do this in many different ways. One way that I do it is to close my eyes so that I can quiet myself as I say thank you to God. Dear God, thank you for the story of the leaven, and that a very small thing can grow and grow until it leavens all of the bread and flour. Thank you for the ways that you put little things in our life that grow. I pray this in your name. I'm going to change the light now. The light is in one place, but now it's going to be in many places at many times. So watch. Now the light of Christ is in many places at many times and in your home with you. Now this ends our time of worship. So we're going to do a benediction, that fancy word for blessing. So warm up your benediction, your blessing hands. Hold them out to me. The love of God go with you. Go in peace.